Stop what you're doing, put down your comics. This is not a drill. DC is about to drop a new Batman #1, and if you don't pay attention, you could make a mistake that you will regret for the rest of your life. We knew they were starting over at #1. We've known for a little while now. After Hush 2, or at least the first half, then the second half's coming out the year after in 26. Then they are starting over. New creative team, new Batmobile, new bat suit, little gadgety eyeball glass things, new Gotham. So the question isn't,
should I care?
It's, can you afford not to? Let me put this in perspective. Batman has been around for 85 years. In all that time, his main series has been renumbered exactly 3 times. Now, the 4th renumbering is happening. It's a big deal because now, instead of the comics saying things like 106 and 107 and 108, they're going to say like 1, 2, and 3. I don't actually mean to be sarcastic. It is a big deal. This isn't going to be some run-of-the-mill Batman story. They are really putting in the work to make this thing awesome. And you know that they're coming to do a good job because you look and see who they're bringing on board. Matt Fraction, the guy who made Hawkeye more than a joke. The guy who made Iron Man a must-read. He's also done some great stuff in indie comics like Sex Criminals. Now he's coming to Gotham, and you should be terrified to miss it. So let's talk about what's actually changing, because trust me, this is not just some fresh start where the start isn't really that fresh. So there's a new costume. Say goodbye to the black and gray. Batman's going classic with a blue and gray suit redesigned by the awesome Jorge Jimenez. It's a return to an iconic look in the history of Batman. There's a new Batmobile. Details, unfortunately, about the Batmobile, so far, not a lot out there. Pretty sure it's not going to be an enormous dump truck. Not that I don't love Absolute Batman, but Jimenez is working on a new Batmobile, and it's going to redefine everything that we know about how Batman gets around in Gotham. And if you don't think that matters, go look back at the animated series and what that did for Batman and his legacy. That was a cool Batmobile. Jimenez says the new Gotham City is going to have a pop influence aesthetic. I don't know what that means. Maybe more neon. Whatever it is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen before. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to be in a room where everybody's talking about Batman. They're talking about the new suit. They're talking about these little glasses things I mentioned earlier that are kind of cool looking. And it'll be too late then. They'll say, hey man, did you see the new Batmobile? And you'll say, I didn't even know there was one. You're going to say, you mean that big earth mover from Absolute Batman #1? And they're going to say, no, talking about Batman #1. And you're going to be like, Batman #1? Don't you mean Batman 4,796,562? And they're going to say, no. Didn't you know they renumbered for only the 4th time in history? You'd be begging for somebody to explain it to you. I mean, I guess at this point, you're at least going to know what I've told you so far. And maybe you'll forget, but you can come back and watch this video. But man, come on. You want to be ahead of the curve, right? You want to be the one who saw this coming, who can tell all your friends like, remember I told you about that suit, changing up the suit, right? You laughed at me. You said,
oh, God, you watching that Wolf Bronsky again?
And you'll say, yes, and bam, you know? So now you have 6 months. You have till September to prepare, to look at all the stuff they're going to put out, to subscribe to this channel and like this video and find out everything else that's going to happen. So don't be left out. If you're still watching, that means you're one of the smart ones. You get it. You know this matters. You're not one of these idiots out there watching the news, paying attention to politics. You're looking at Batman #1 on the way, and you are focused on what really counts. And I dig that about you. So leave a comment. Let me know what you think about all this. I'm going to break down every update about this Batman comic because I just can't help myself. So, stick around.